I the only one in pajamas already?
I'm just excited for us to just be weird. Be weird together. Okay.
Yes. You can talk. I'm just saying I'm not, focusing.
Hey everyone, welcome to the first official mini episode where basically anything goes. Unscripted, unfiltered, and ranty. And basically that's how we've been describing it, and it fits, and I'm very excited about this. Today I have Hanna and Tess here.
Hi.
Yeah, Tess, hi.
Hi.
I'm just interrupting. I'm ranty and interrupty.
She's starting already, okay? No. But we're having a really fun discussion today about Shadow and Bone.
Woohoo.
And I'm very excited. And this will be episode 1 of a mini series in the mini episodes, because we're going to do another episode after the show comes out. And then an episode full of spoilers. So
we have a lot of feelings. It hasn't even started yet, and we already have a lot of, too many feelings to put in
exactly.
one episode.
Yeah, so let's talk. I'm excited. I'm excited about this format, and I'm excited for just to talk without any boundaries. How does that
we
go?
do have boundaries of
That
no
sounds very
spoilers today.
Yes,
so
true.
For y'all listeners who have not read the books, or maybe you haven't read the whole series, or maybe you're just gonna watch the show, we won't be spoiling anything today. So y'all don't have to worry.
Yeah, so you can just listen to this and then watch the show, or listen to this and read the books, and still enjoy both.
Well, here's a question I have for you guys. Did you or are you rereading the books in anticipation of the show? Did you want a refresher of the books, or I'll go first. I am not, because I know it's going to be so different that I kind of wanted it to be fuzzy in my mind.
Right? Because it's been years since I read those, so I don't remember key points, and I thought about it, but no.
Yeah, I'm the same. I did read them last year, and it still feels pretty recent. But I forget things really fast, especially when it comes to plot points. I'll remember emotions and feels and things that made me feel highly emotional, but anything that's kind of a neutral plot point, I'm gonna forget that a week after I read a book. So there's certain things I don't remember, but I also just I already feel like I am not reading fast enough or enough books. So if I was gonna take time to reread the series, I would be stressing out and rolling around in the fetal position on my floor, feeling like I'm missing out on all these other books that I could be reading for the first time. So yes, my answer is no. I am not rereading them before the show comes out.
Because I went to the library. One of my librarians is a friend of mine, and she was like, I'm rereading it because the show's coming out. And I was like, I know they're going to change everything. I kind of don't want to know.
Yeah.
It's just I thought about rereading Dune because the Dune movie's coming out, and I'm super excited about it. And I was like, nope. No, maybe reread it after.
Yeah, I think that's
when you're
that's
in the mood.
Better plan. Because then it might give you the feels, and you're like, oh man, this just makes me want to go back to the book again. But I don't know. I think maybe in my younger years, when Twilight came out on the movies, and Harry Potter came out on the movies, I would go and reread all the books, because I don't know. Honestly, I probably had more time and I read faster, and I didn't have a child, so
yeah, there's nothing. But that is true though, because when in years previous to this, I was a lot more, it has to follow the book. It has to, if it's not following, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's not. But then I think it was Ready Player One that really kind of changed that for me, because I really liked that movie a lot. And I liked that it was so different from the book, because it was a different experience, taking the same story and kind of just tweaking it enough that it's a different experience. And so now I'm kind of okay, that's okay. I'm okay with this. You can take interpretations. I mean, sometimes I'm not okay. If you guys have listened to regular episodes, I hate what happened with Day 100, okay? I will forever rant about that. But I think having that new experience visually, taking the story and making it, I think that's going to be really fun, especially for people who've never read it, or just reading it for the first time. They're going to read book 1 and then they're just going to watch the show. And then, yeah, we'll see what happens.
I think it also is really helpful when the author is like deeply involved, at least to some degree,
Mm-hmm.
with the production. Movies and shows, I feel like, turn out so much better when there's at least like a creative, like they use them as like a consultant. I feel like I can trust the end product a lot more, and I don't know how deeply involved Lee Bardugo is in this. I don't know if she's like
I
technically
heard
like
she's
a
an
producer.
extra in it, like
Oh,
she's in a
really?
scene. Yes.
That's pretty cool.
I think she's a Grisha, like, at the court or something.
That's
Someone
pretty
pointed it
fun.
out in some Instagram snippet I
Yeah,
saw.
yeah.
Had like a little arrow to her in the back. I was like, oh, that's fun.
Aw.
So I know she's been like on set and stuff. I'm pretty sure. I think that smart authors kind of don't micromanage too much.
Yeah.
I feel like
But
a
like
lot
at
of
least
them
have some
can,
creative.
though.
Yeah, like if they have some creative say, like from what little I've seen about like posts from her or articles about her and the project, it does seem like there's like at least a lot of approval from her end. And I mean, not maybe not like final approval, but it seems like she's
Yeah.
happy with the choices they're making, and that she has, like, I saw an article that was really interesting the other day about how she said that she wanted them to be a little bit more diverse in casting than she originally was, in the way that she explained character
Okay, yeah.
appearances and heritage in the first book, because as going from Shadow and Bone to Six of Crows, she became really diverse, like really good about having
Mm-hmm.
these really diverse characters culturally. And I thought that was really interesting that she wanted to make sure that the show was going to take it up a notch. And that's just based on one of the articles I read, but I thought it was really cool. And so it made me feel
Yeah.
more confident that she is having some kind of involvement in the show.
Right. Yeah. Which obviously you want, but at the same time, like, I'm just curious to see what they do with the material, just even without her involvement,
Yes.
because I don't know. It's like people just interpret things for themselves. Like, this fandom, like the Shadow and Bone fandom, is so intense. Like,
It is
you
intense.
hate the books or you don't hate the books. It's like, or you love the Shadow and Bone trilogy and you hate the duology, the Six of Crows duology, or vice versa, or like you just hate everything. I don't know. They're
It's so
so
funny.
passionate.
There's a lot of feelings about it.
Yes.
I feel like any popular YA
Yeah, that's
series
true.
gets this
Yeah.
way. But yeah. Well, which one do you guys like better? Do you like the duology or the trilogy better? Or
So
do you have opinion?
I don't have an opinion because I haven't finished the duology. I only read Six of
Oh,
Crows.
okay.
I know.
It's only 2 books.
I know. Okay, but we know my story with reading right now. Like, I
Yeah.
haven't been
I
reading
know.
anything.
I will point out it's been out for a little bit. But,
Yeah.
You know.
So has Angel or Clockwork Prince, whatever, and 10 years on the bookshelf. Come on now. It's where I'm at. Tess, you have a favorite, right? You like one
Yeah.
over.
So the funny thing is, I read Six of Crows first, and I really, really enjoyed it. It was really good. And then I read what is it, Crooked Kingdom, and I liked it. I think I read it during a reading slump, and I think I mentioned this before because I read Six of Crows for another episode that we
Mhm.
did. But yeah, Crooked Kingdom, I read it during a reading slump. I was having a really hard time getting into it. And it also might just be that duologies take on a slightly different, like, pacing is a little different. Like, it felt
Yeah.
like it was just picking up. It felt like the second half of a single book to me, and I didn't feel, it just fell off. I couldn't get like into the flow of this book as much as I could the first one. I was just like, where are they? I just couldn't figure out where they were going with it, or what I was rooting for, or what I wanted to happen. But it also might have been because it took me so long that, like, by the time I would go back, sit down to read it after a few days passed, I'd be like, what's going on again? So I
Yeah.
finished it.
And did you have a gap between the books?
I didn't. I went straight into the second one, I believe. I mean, maybe there's like a week or two. But yeah, then I finished on audio just so I could like have the complete story. And I liked it. Overall, I liked it. But then I read Shadow and Bone, which I immediately loved. I read those
Okay.
books so fast. And I had heard so many people say how boring it is, and that if you liked Six of Crows, you're probably not going to like Shadow and Bone, because Six of Crows is the slower one. And I actually liked it more. Like, I wouldn't say that I dislike Six of Crows, but I was just like so hooked. And I think a lot of it has to do with Alina being the sole point of view character, I think it's a little easier for me to get hooked into a book if the main character if there's just one that I'm following, especially
Right.
if I'm in kind of a chaotic, like, reading slump mind state. It's just easier for me to follow a single character.
That's part of the reason why I read YA a lot.
Yeah.
Is the single point of view. But I liked Six of Crows better.
Okay.
I read Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom first as well. And I think it's like down to the banter again. Like there's such good banter
There is good
in
banter.
those books. And just like the interactions of the characters and like because they're all kind of a crew and they have that camaraderie / frenemy thing going on. And I like all the interactions between all the side characters, like, and not just the main one. But I think it's also because I just did not ship any romances in the trilogy. And in Six of Crows, like, I think we've talked about this in previous episodes, but I did love Kaz and Inej, even though they're, like, super messed up. And I loved Nina and Matthias, even though they are also messed up. And Alina, like, it's this love triangle-y thing that happens, and I was kind of like, Team Alina should be by herself.
I've heard a lot of people
end.
say that they wanted her to just, like, be alone at the end.
Okay,
I know,
okay.
and I'm like, I
Alone
feel
or
terrible
with
saying
somebody
that.
else that will not name because they don't show up until later.
I've seen a lot of people literally say they wanted her to be alone, that they wanted her. I think more like, not like alone as in lonely, but alone as in like girl power. I don't need none of these guys.
Yeah, I mean, I know that some people shipped her with guy number 3,
Yes.
who's in all the spoiler episodes, and I love him. Like, he's probably my favorite guy in the Grishaverse, but I didn't feel like there's no chemistry.
That's how,
So I was more like, I liked him and I wanted him to find someone great, but it didn't, like, it never seemed like it was going to be her.
Right.
Yeah, because she wasn't in, like, okay, we have to save this for the spoiler
not into
episode,
him.
but yeah, basically all I'll say is that she wasn't in love with that guy. He was more of a distraction.
Yeah.
But I want him
more
to
like-
be. I want him to have a really satisfying romance, or else
Yes.
I would have been disappointed. Okay, since we can't name him.
Well, no more.
We have to
We'll
save
talk about
this.
this more
Yes,
later.
People
okay.
are like, what are you talking about? Who's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
only on book 1?
Yeah,
They're like,
no,
you
but
told
Sorry,
me
guys.
that this was not gonna happen.
if you guys have read it
Cut all
though, you
this
can
out.
probably
No.
tell who we're talking about.
Yes, if you have read, you know what we're talking about. No, none of this gets
And
cut
if
out.
you haven't, then I guess you should read the book and
It's
then
true.
get back to us.
Yes.
There's only 5, 6, 7
7.
Grisha
Oh,
books.
because
'Cause
of
Rule of Wolves.
I
is
haven't
out.
read
yeah.
either of those ones yet, but I really want to.
I've read King of Scars, but I haven't read Rule of Wolves yet. Anyway.
Okay.
Anyway.
Someone needs to talk about the
I-
book.
Oh,
Because we
yeah.
haven't even talked about what this
Okay.
book's about. I know. So
Jeepers.
Kay?
Guys, this is chaos.
Kay read
I
this on
apologize.
a
I
previous
think it's my fault.
episode and talked about it a little bit, but I
Yes.
do think that
She did better than we're going to do now, probably.
let's
Yeah,
just
'cause it's
paste it all
evening.
together and throw spaghetti at a wall. But Hannah, I think you should talk
We'll
about
just,
it.
Okay, I'm going to do my best here.
Oh my gosh, I love
All
this
right.
so much.
Let us talk about the Grishaverse.
Yes.
We call it the Grishaverse because the magical people are called Grisha. And it has a bunch of countries, and Shadow and Bone takes place in Ravka. And the Six of Crow crew are in Ketterdam, which is in Kerch. I've got the map.
Oh, good.
If you're wondering how I'm so good at this. Which is like an island off the shore of it. So she's got this whole big world, but Ravka is where this all takes place, and there has been a big civil war, and I believe there is still some fighting going on. I think it's civil. Is it civil? Other people
There's
attacking?
worry things happening.
Yeah.
There's worry stuff. There is an army, and Alina is an orphan, and she is part of the army, and she is a cartographer, which I think is an excellent job, as I am a map illustrator
Yeah.
myself, but much less epic than hers. I'm not a soldier in battle, I just draw tiny castles. Anyway. And there is this giant, like, scar on the land called the Unsea, and I believe it used to be, like, a real ocean, and they would take ships across it, and it's how they would get to the other country, kind of thing. And then something happened that turned it into a wasteland desert that's always dark and has giant monsters in it.
Yes.
So that's like kind of the setting. And then there are the Grisha, which are their magic people, and they all have, there's different orders of Grisha because they're all in the army. And I'm going to flip to that page in the book because I'm trying to remember what they all are. But I think it's sweet. Oh, yes. There's the... Oh, I'm going to try and do the...
Yeah, go for it.
Yes. Okay, the Grisha. They say the Grisha, the soldiers of the Second Army, masters of the small science. So there's the
That would well, very good job.
Okay. This is going to be bad, guys. Corporal Kali? No, Corporal... I can't do it. I'm sorry. They're the Order of the Living and the Dead, so it's the heart renders and the healers. So there's, like, kind of two sides to it. There's the people that can heal, and there's the people that can literally, like, stop people's hearts. Then there's the Etherelki. I'm dyslexic, by the way, so when I read books, I just, like, make up,
I do
like,
the
this
same
random thing. Because I was like, Corporacali, and I'm like, they're not Corporacali. That's not, like, the order that the letters are in at all. So they're the... Okay, so the Etherelki.
You can just do the description.
I'll be... She's like, please, Hannah, stop embarrassing yourself. After I watch the show, I'll be much better at this.
We can hear what it sounds like.
And these are, like, they call them the Order of Summoners. So they've got the Squallers, who bring storms, the Inferni, who have fire, I assume, I don't remember, and the Tide Makers would be water. And then there's I'm not going to say it, the Order of Fabricators, who are the Duress and the Alchemy. So I can't quite remember, actually, what they do. I know that, like, they make stuff, but I don't remember the differences between the two of them. So she doesn't think she's a Grisha. She's just minding her own business. And then, as you see in the trailer, so it is not a spoiler, she has to go into the Unsea for something. And they get attacked. And she bursts forth with light. And it turns out she's a sun summoner, which is something that nobody else is.
Yes.
And the Darkling is like a dark magic. What is he called? Yes, he's just the Darkling.
Does he have a thing? I think he has a power name. Yeah. Because there's the Sun Summoner and then
the opposite of that.
The other thing.
The Darkling.
He's just the Darkling. He does the opposite.
Okay, our listeners are going to be like, you guys are so dumb. Like, you did not prepare at all.
We prepared by reading this book 2 years ago, guys. So he takes her into... like, training to use her power for the good of Ravka and the Grisha and the army and all of this stuff. And it makes Mel really sad. Mel's, like, her boyfriend who grew up with her. And...
Well, best friend.
He's like best friend
that she has for. Yeah. And he doesn't realize she has feelings for him. Yes. But...
See, I don't remember that.
Then I liked Mel.
I liked Mel too.
Oh, we're on the same team.
Yes.
We'll talk unlike the third
we'll definitely have lots to talk about Mel.
Yeah, when we have our spoiler one, yes, we will.
We'll have feelings about Mel. I feel bad for Mel for how much I don't like Mel, but then I remember how he was in the book, and I'm like, he deserves it. So I feel like that's a lot of book one is just like her training with the Darkling, and she has to learn to like master her magic and get stronger in her magic so that she can be this amazing sun summoner and save all the people.
Yeah, that's a good summary.
Whether she likes it or not.
Right. I do like that summary. That's a very good world summary without giving anything away. So you did great.
I feel like the world is super important to why people love this series. And I do think from looking at the trailer and the shots I've seen that it looks the way it looked in my head.
Yeah,
really.
Yes, it does.
The way everyone is dressed and the whole influence of it. And I thought it they're doing a good job of channeling kind of the vibe.
Right. And speaking of the trailer, we're gonna watch it together. I'm very excited.
We're
gonna try. And if it doesn't work, then you're just gonna hear us talk about it later after we watch it together. But
You could try and time it and start the same time as us, and then you'll get to see it while we make comments.
that's true. I'm about to. Okay,
Good
hold
luck
on. I'm gonna
to
share
you.
my screen because
Okay, well, 3, 2, 1 it, guys. So you get ready with your own trailers at home.
I got. Okay, you guys can see this. I'm gonna use this one. The one that. Wait, do you want to watch the one 2 weeks ago? I haven't seen that one. The official
it
Yeah,
Jared?
that
trailer.
one has more stuff in it.
Oh.
That one shows more of how the
Oh my gosh.
Six of Crows guys get into it.
Okay, can you
Oh,
hear
yeah.
that?
Not at all.
This is intense. I have not seen this actually.
What?
I saw the teaser apparently, but that's it. Wait, isn't she from Six of
Okay.
Crows?
I can't hear anything.
We'll just have to
can
use our
only-
imaginations.
Okay.
Wait, how do
There
I-
is more from
Wait,
Six
can you
of
put the
Crows.
captions on and then we can read them at least?
Yes. Put the captions on.
De on? Come on, man. Yes, okay.
There we go.
Is this true? Yeah, we got it. Okay, like, what is Ben Barnes supposed to be from? I mean, what is he
Oh
from?
my gosh,
Caspian,
so
from
much.
Caspian. That's all I have heard
Oh,
of him
Caspian. Oh, I do love that.
Oh,
Okay,
he's been the
continuing.
Dorian Gray. He's been. Oh, hey, that's Six of Crow people, right?
So that's Inish,
Yeah.
yeah. And I love this scene with the stuff blowing up. I'm like,
Oh.
Mel does seem very sweet in the trailer, so maybe I'll like Mel.
I've
more.
heard so many people complain about the acting
Oh,
choice, which I haven't really
Jesper.
seen what it is because I don't want anyone's negativity coloring my enjoyment of the
Yes,
show.
right.
Right, like, I don't know most of these actors.
Okay, yeah, I've been obsessed
have
with
watched
Ben
Prince
Barnes for
Caspian.
so long. I was like so excited to see. Okay, those monsters look cool.
They look terrifying, which is
I'm like all
I don't think
excited,
they're in
and
too much
Hannah's
of the
like,
show.
no.
I was like, see, look,
Her
her
outfit is
awesome.
perfect. Oh my
Yes.
gosh, like
So
the
good.
blue and the
Ah,
gold.
And then like the mean headmistress is
Yeah.
I'm sure she's in the books. I don't remember.
Yeah,
at
she's
all.
like in like the cottage.
Oh my gosh.
There's a spoiler involved with her.
Can I just say I do like a beardy guy? Now that I'm no longer a teenager.
Now that you're not a
Oh my gosh,
teenager.
yes.
Now that I'm 39, I'm like, yes.
Okay, the graphics in this look so good.
Yeah.
They do
Wow.
look really good.
I'm so excited, you guys.
I'm so
and
impressed.
Oh,
Six
see,
of
and
Crows
Jasper.
stuff.
I love Jasper. And Inish. Inish is going to be so sweet. This is actually helpful for you guys to listen to this.
Ooh.
Oh, it is. Oh,
I'm not
who's
talking
that?
anymore. I'm just
that
just
Zoya?
Yeah,
staring.
Zoya.
Zoya.
Oh, and then there's the
Yeah.
like hunt for the stag antlers.
I think was that in the
Yeah.
first book? Was
The
there like
yep,
one
there's
animal
one
per book?
one per book, pretty much. Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, okay. Sorry guys. I did not hear anything you were saying because I was just like into this.
I know. I've watched it a few times. 'Cause I'm
I
excited.
watched
I
it a
watched the
few times,
teaser a
too.
few times. Like someone will come over and I'm like, "Have you seen the trailer for Shadow and Bone?" And then I make them.
I made my husband watch it with me because I'm like, look, this is a show we're both gonna watch together. You're gonna be
Nice.
excited about it.
And you will
And
love
he
it.
is. He's
See,
excited to
my-
watch it with me.
That's cool.
My husband read Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom because I made him.
Aw.
And he liked it. It was a long time ago, so it's gonna. Yeah.
Is he gonna watch it with
I'm-
you?
Well, this is the problem, is that he works evenings, so we can only watch shows 2 evenings a week.
Ooh.
So we have children, so we can not watch shows during the day, or we will scar
Yes.
them. And we are currently halfway through season 3 of Money Heist, and we are deeply, deeply invested in Money Heist, and I don't know if I can make him stop. So I might have to watch it without him and then watch it again.
There's
You're gonna have
nothing
to
wrong
watch
with
it
that.
without him.
Yeah.
Because we're doing an
'Cause
episode
I'm like,
about it.
I know. He does like work days next week, and I'm like, could we take a break and
Just one
watch?
episode. We're just
Shadow
one
and
episode. It's
Bone.
fine.
Oh, what? You think? Yeah, like I can watch one episode.
Yeah,
That's
I don't know.
hilarious.
Well, I mean,
1 or 2 a
yeah,
day.
I don't want to be like, because I'm assuming they're releasing it.
How many episodes are there?
I don't know, but I'm assuming they're releasing it all at once because it's only like Disney
Yeah.
that drops it once or
Well, it's
Amazon, whatever.
Netflix,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, no, they do have some shows that come out just once a week, but I don't.
I think that's just when they're made in cooperation with someone
Okay.
else. Like Shadowhunters was made with someone else. That's why it came out once a week. Let's not talk about Shadowhunters.
Yeah, let's
I'll make
not.
me
That's
depressed about
that's
this.
gonna be a whole ranty episode all on its own because I have
Whole
feelings.
episode. But since Shadowhunters, they have made The Witcher, which was
Ooh.
wonderful.
That's true. That's true.
And they've done other things with books.
Netflix has some really good
And
book
Winx was
to
wonderful.
movie and book to show adaptations. I'm like super
Yes.
confident in them, so I'm really excited about
Well,
this.
that looks
And
incredible.
especially since seeing the trailer.
Yes.
It looks so good.
I did not know that I did not see like the official trailer. I thought that what I saw
Oh.
was like the final, but apparently I missed it somehow. I don't know why, how that happened, but that was like really cool. You guys are talking, I can't hear you because I'm just like 100%
You're
in
just like,
the
"What?"
You're gonna have
trailer.
to watch it alone when we're not bothering you.
Yeah. I'm like, wait, what's happening? It looked so good. Like the
Yeah.
graphics looked amazing, I do have to say. And I did play the teaser trailer for my parents on the big TV because I was like, guys, I'm so excited about this. So yeah.
And it's a good trailer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, you know, sometimes there's good movies that have bad trailers. And you're like, the person who
Yeah.
made this trailer should be fired. Maybe it's just me. I watch a lot of trailers, but this one I was like, that is a good trailer.
It's the kind that every time I see it, I will watch it. Like if it's
I
in
watch a
my
lot of
feed
trailers.
on Facebook, I'm like, oh, time to stop what I'm doing and watch this trailer again.
That's funny.
About once a month, my husband sits me down and is like, we're watching trailers.
That's hilarious.
And we watch like 10 of them, and then we know a bunch of movies we don't want to
Yeah.
see, and we go on and watch.
I mean, I
Netflix
love
again.
trailers, but I feel like recently trailers have been like the whole movie. And I'm like,
Oh
leave
yeah.
Oh,
something
yes, I hate that.
for like my favorite trailer of all time was definitely when Endgame was coming out and they did like no trailer really, except for that like random Infinity War like scenes and stuff, and then they like just gave you like a second glimpse of something, and it was just so well done because you were just so into like what is going to happen next. And since then
I feel like you hardly even needed a trailer. They just needed
Yeah,
to say,
Well,
this
yes.
is coming
this
soon.
movie is coming
Left
out.
you on the
And we'd
most
be like,
depressing cliffhanger ever, so
Yes.
you're finally
I
gonna be
know.
satisfied.
Yeah.
Find out who's dead.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm saying like
Is it everyone?
I'm saying if more trailers were like that, where it's like you give like enticing bits without overpowering the
Yes.
whole story, I would be good with that.
And it is different for things like this where you have an idea of it.
Mhm.
Like, again, back to Dune because I'm stoked. I've watched the Dune trailer like 10, 15 times. And every time I'm just like, Dune.
I mean,
We're going to do an episode
we
about
are,
that
yes.
whenever it comes out.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
That movie.
I do have to say that speaking of Netflix and The Witcher for a second, because The Witcher has 3 fandoms. It has, the book fandom, it has the TV show fandom, and it has the video game fandom. And when the TV show came out, all 3 of those fandoms really loved it. Like I did not
Yeah.
hear anything bad about
Mhm.
it. So I'm
That's true.
super curious to see how Shadow and Bone like goes with that, because there's at least 2 fandoms, right? People who have read the books and people who haven't. But there's kind of maybe 3 fandoms because there's people who love the trilogy, and you know what I mean, like that whole divide.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe there's kind of 3 fandoms in that too, because people who like read Shadow and Bone but don't love it as much as Crooked Kingdoms, they're gonna have to watch the show and
Because
like
with Shadowhunters, it like split completely. There's like the book fandom and the show fandom, and they don't
they don't talk.
cross.
They're not
Because
friends.
the book people are so mad about the show. I'm gonna go let my cat in because he's scratching.
Okay.
Aw.
This is literally our episodes, okay, guys? I'm not editing any of this out.
Well, okay. Here's what I want to talk about though, because I see a lot of people like freaking out about like the Six of Crows crew is in this show, but they weren't in
I'm
Shadow
back.
and Bone, and
Okay.
Six of Crows takes place after Shadow and Bone. What are they gonna do? They're gonna ruin the show.
Okay.
But I saw an article about how they actually basically wrote like a prequel story for the Six of Crows crew to tie them into Alina's story. So it technically isn't the Six of Crows book at all, but a
Right.
prequel. And I don't know how true that is. Obviously, we haven't seen the show yet, but I thought that was super cool and really smart, like a
Really
smart way
smart,
to get to get that other series in there, and maybe even a chance for a spin-off series if they don't end
yeah.
up doing the Six of Crows in the later,
Well,
seasons.
I think that like from the trailer, it looked like they were looping them in. Like it looked like someone was sending them to get Alina.
that's
with,
what I've heard
like,
it is.
Like there was money
Yeah, yeah.
mentioned.
yeah, that they're
So it seems like a totally different plot for them.
Yeah.
It's just like the characters are coming over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm super excited to see how they do that, but I'm curious to see how people react for them being like, this is so different.
Yes.
This is not how it happens in the books. But like this time it's intentional. Like they are intentionally, as far as what
Right.
I've seen, they are intentionally splitting from the book in order to merge them together a little bit better in
Yeah.
a creative way.
Do you know what I would love?
What would
What?
you love?
If it had Nina and Matthias's backstory happening
That would be
like, in real time.
yes, that would be nice.
Wouldn't that be
would
amazing?
really cool.
If we could like see them meet for the first time and then start to hate each
Yeah,
other.
the enemies to lovers part 1.
Part 1, exactly.
Enemies to lovers to enemies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think now that you mention it, and I know you mentioned it earlier, but I think like Lee actually came out and said that maybe in a post or something, because people were very confused after the trailer came out. And I feel like I saw the same thing about them having like a prequel versus
Oh, okay. So is she the
it
one who like
being-
cleared that up
I
so that her
think
fans
so,
wouldn't be so mad at her?
yeah. Not like 100% sure, but
Yeah, I'm not
now
100%
that you
sure
said it, I
either.
think-
I'm like, that is the like little snippet article that I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I really want that to be true because that's super cool and super creative.
But if both of us are thinking it, then it might be. It's
it
probably
must
true.
be real.
'cause-
Yeah.
Sometimes it's speculation too.
Yeah, that
I
could
guess,
be.
I guess.
I don't know. I'm curious because only 3 of the 6 of Crows know each other. Like Nina and Matthias know each other like separately.
Yeah.
But does Nina know the Dregs yet?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, that's a good point.
I don't
think
think so
remember
because
that
I
part.
feel like it's the beginning of 6 of Crows. Like Kaz and Inij and Jesper are like in the crew
they're
already.
like already in the crew.
And they bring Nina in,
Which they know
They
her,
might know
but
her.
she's not like their BFF. She's not going on the
and
heist
then
with them like every day.
Wyland's like a noble
And
son.
I don't even know if he's cast. I don't know if he's been cast in this, so he might
Yeah,
not even be
which
in
makes-
this. At least not in the first season.
This
But I don't
season,
know.
yeah.
Again, we should have done a little more homework and looked up the casting to see.
That would be a great idea.
But sometimes the casting, like if you look up actual like casting, then you get spoiled on stuff. So I try not to like look
Oh
at that.
my gosh.
I would like it better if they aren't all in it because I would like to like slowly gain people like naturally
Yeah.
through the story. Like it'd be cool to see sometimes how some of them meet and start interacting and not have them all just like I don't want the 6 of Crows crew to just like come fully formed onto
Yes.
the screen. I
Yeah.
would rather them.
I would like to see their backstory a little bit, like to see them grouping together and to see how they like, how Wyland gets involved is like really cool. I don't feel like they really show that. He's just there and they're like, this is what happened. We like, I don't even remember. They don't kidnap him, but he's
remember
definitely not supposed to like be with them at first.
Doesn't he just like show up and they try and get rid of him?
I
feel
don't
like
know.
there's something like that.
He's definitely not supposed to just be hanging out.
Like,
with
go
them.
home, pretty boy. That's what I remember. I'm curious. I don't want Kaz's like full backstory though. That can just be alluded to. We don't want to see
how much. Oh yeah, I don't need to see that like in action.
We don't need to know how Kaz gets his
flashbacks
blood.
though. Flashbacks is fine, but I don't need to like live through it
Short
in real time
flashbacks.
because that's
Yeah.
It was hard enough to
it's
read.
intense.
Yeah.
Poor Kaz.
This is gonna be. I'm so curious to see like the response, and I'm excited for us to watch it because obviously we have like an idea in our heads and. From the
We should watch at
books.
the same time and text each other.
Ooh,
We should.
That would be fun.
That would be fun. And the reason we couldn't hear the trailer, I will see how it recorded while we were watching the trailer, but it's because I have my earphones in. If I took them out,
Oh, right.
you would have been able to hear it. But since I had them in, you couldn't hear it. But I wonder if like my recording picked up.
Yeah,
We'll see. We'll see what
we'll
happens.
find out.
So there might be like a gap cut out, or there might not in this episode. We'll see.
It'll be a surprise.
Exciting experiment.
Yeah, it's the first episode. We're doing everything for the first time. But yeah, so before I forget, speaking of the books, if you guys haven't read them and you would like to, we are hosting a giveaway on our Instagram at Reading Queens Pod, and it's running until the end of April. So you are more than welcome to enter if you haven't read the books. It's the first 3 books. It's the trilogy. It's the complete trilogy of The Shadow and Bone in paperback. So Yeah,
And
make
even
sure
if
to
you
give us a
have
follow.
read the books, I mean, might as well try and win them again and like give them to a friend, or maybe you only
Force
had
them
them
to a
on
friend to read
Kindle
them.
and you want them on
Yeah.
paperback.
Or you could be like me. I have books 1 and 3. I can't remember. I have 2 of them. But it's the old covers.
Oh.
And I like refuse to break down and buy the third one because it won't match. And I don't want to buy all 3. And I'm just hoping that someday I will enter a used bookstore and find
just
the
be
third
there.
one.
That's a good gamble.
Wait, so it's book 2 that you're missing? Is it in hardcover?
I can't remember. No, they're in
Oh.
paperback. It's the castle
I
covers.
was gonna say I have the second book in hardcover, the old
No, they're
the
paperbacks.
old cover.
I have the gray one and the blue one, but not the red one.
Oh, well, you know what?
Which ones are
Whatever
those?
then.
I read them from the library, and then I bought 2 of them at a used bookstore. One of these
One of these
days.
days. That makes sense.
One of these days.
Well, I think this is a good stopping point before we dive into spoilers.
If we talk anymore, yeah, it will
Yeah.
just digress into spoilers.
Yeah, but this was so much fun, and I hope that our listeners will enjoy these episodes because I just love the chaos. I just love it. Anyway.
We're excited to hear if you guys are as excited as
Yeah,
us
definitely let us
about
know.
this show.
Comment
give-
in our Instagram and holler at us and rant and yell at us because we like that kind of
Please.
thing.
Yes, apparently. Apparently
And we will
do.
watch as much of it as quickly as possible to give you the down low on what we think afterwards.
Yes, for sure. So be on the lookout for that episode. But we also have our regular episode coming this Wednesday. Don't miss out on that. It's really
Woohoo!
fun and exciting. And yes, and give us a follow on your favorite podcast platform, and also the Instagram. And yeah, that's it. That's all I have for us. I don't have a cute outro. Bye.
That was
was
The
it.
end. This is all from us.
And we're
Goodbye.
done.
Goodbye.
Oh my gosh, okay. I'm just keeping that all in.